nothing that the Blazers could do as they struggled to get the offense going. They struggled to get the defense going. They just flat out struggled. That is the word and the only way to explain it. Now, a bunch of starters and bench players and all that were out of the lineup, so a little of it was to be expected, but the final score was still a rough one as the Thunder grabbed a 122-95 victory. If you want to join in on the conversation with me this morning, afternoon, excuse me, go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and you can join the conversation there. You can also grab your phone and send a fancy text out to the new Rip City Radio text line. Text 88528, and I'll see your texts as soon as I get logged in here because technology doesn't want to work for me today. Because why would it, Brendan? Why would it? You know, it's crazy. It never fails. It's like, hey, first off, you got to have 10-step verification. Put in the access code that we emailed you. And so I took that access code and I typed in the access code, and the app told me it was the wrong access code. I assure you, it was not the wrong access code. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. What is this two-factor? What year is it? 1995? We do 10-step authentication now. Yes. Yes. That's what it is. It is a little rough. But yes, send your text 88528. You can also go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, join the chat there. Dennis, he just says, win, play hard. I hope so. Play hard. Play hard is what you want to do. And it's not that, like I'm not going to dog on the Blazers too bad, because it's not as if they walked into Oklahoma City and didn't play hard. It's just that they didn't have the dogs to put up a fight. They were missing most of their lineup. No Drew Holiday, no Shaden Sharp, no Robert Williams. Obviously, no Blake Wesley and Matisse Thybulle, who are out for extended times. No Scoot Henderson, who has yet to play this season. No Damian Lillard, who will not play this season. And I know there are some people who are like, oh, I don't factor Damian Lillard in because we all knew he wasn't going to play. But at the same time, he's taking up a roster spot. So, didn't have him available. That's not a lot of guys. Sidy Cissoko gets a start in this one. Toumani Camara, Jeremy Grant, Donovan Clingan, Denny Avdia beside him. That left your main bench rotation of Chris Murray, Caleb Love, Dwap Reith, Young Hansen, and Ryan Rupert. So, yeah, a rough night for the Blazers. Taking a look at the box score in this one, Chet Holmgren had 5 points. Lou Dort had 5 points, 7 points, and 14 rebounds from Isaiah Hartenstein. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a game-high 37 points. He also had 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 7 points from Kassan Wallace. Isaiah Joe had 10, and A.J. Mitchell had 20 off of the Thunder bench. On the Blazers side of things, Toumani Camara, a rough night. He had just 4 points. We've talked a lot about how the team needs to figure things out a little bit, how they need to really find a way to get these guys consistent. And that is really getting Toumani Camara to be more reliable. On some nights he has 16 and 4, next nights he has 4 points. You need him to be consistently in the teens, I believe, especially as you're starting small forward. And you need him to produce more than these 4-point nights when it was a struggle. He was just 2 of 6 from the field. 21 points to lead the Trailblazers for Jeremy Grant. He was the only player that was really efficient in this one. 6 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, 6 of 6 from the line. 8 points and 8 points and 8 rebounds from Donovan Clingan. Not a great performance after we've seen him put together a few really good ones against Chicago and against Golden State. You know, I was getting used to these 20 rebounds, 15-point games. Not so much in this one. Sidy Cissoko, he had 7 points and a couple of assists. 11 points for Denny Avdia, who struggled mightily as well. He was 4 of 16 from the floor. Caleb Love, who had a monster performance against Golden State, did not have a monster performance in this one. He was just 3 of 13 from the field for 8 points. The Blazers, struggled. They shot 37% from the floor. Oklahoma City shot 52. Oklahoma City shot 41% from beyond the arc. Portland shot just 25. So just all around a rough night. Not a lot you can do when, again, most of your lineup is out. Most of your lineup is hurting. It's not going to be much different tonight. The only difference is they're not playing a healthy Oklahoma City Thunder team. They're playing a Milwaukee Bucks team that doesn't have Giannis Antetokounmpo, that is struggling out of the gate, not playing quite as well as they would like, but they're still there. Like, that's going to be something for them to look at, something for them to say, okay, we can match up with these guys and maybe we can get the victory, because you know what? That's what we want. We want a Blazer win. It's always more fun when we're breaking down a Blazer victory. Not these losses. Not these losses. Shout out to Patrick in the YouTube chat. Says I'm a local celebrity. I don't know what he's on. He's on something. He's on something. I'm a local celebrity. I did, Brendan. I'd like to try to be humble, okay? But I am going to humble brag. Because this whole like, oh, you're a celebrity? I don't think I am. I'm just a dude who likes to talk sports, okay? Now, I have been recognized at the store, and it threw me off. I got recognized by a guy at Costco. Oh, you're Chris Burkhardt. You fill in for Justin Myers in the morning sometimes. That's right. That was a while back. The other day, I'm walking through Safeway, right? And I'm having a conversation with my mom about my daughter who is learning to get potty trained, right? So I'm sure I was talking about the poops and the peas with mom in Safeway, thinking it's a safe space. And then I go to check out, and this lady walks by, and she looks at me like she knows me, and I'm in the awkward spot. Like, are you looking at me? Are you looking at the person behind me? Like, I don't have facial recognition. I don't know you. And she's like, Chris Burkhardt? And I'm like, yes. And she goes, I knew that voice. I listen to you all the time, you and Chad. And I'm like, I just got outed at Safeway because of my voice, because of a probably obnoxiously loud conversation I was having with my mother. Yes, and for what Brendan is saying too by radio voice, like I pick on newscasters because newscasters and the sports reporters they have news voice, right? This is my voice. This is me talking to Brendan. But if I were in the news, it'd be like, welcome into Channel 17 Sports. The Blazers real tough game last night against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like, you got to pull in that real big, that this is my voice. What Brendan means by radio voice, it's the fact that what you don't know is while I'm coming through loud and crystal clear on your side, where you're listening, whether it be on the app, YouTube, or the radio, I'm actually whispering into this microphone. That's just how naturally loud I am. That is what Brendan means by radio voice. Yeah, well, I do have to, know that, hey, we got loud voices. Part of the reason why we got the job, all right? We command an audience. All right, heading out to the text line from the 503 we get, is Terry Porter or John Stockton available? I don't know what John Stockton's up to. I don't think he would suit up for the Blazers, though. He wants to keep that one run in one jersey intact. But, hey, you never know. Terry Porter might be able to throw a basketball around, dribble it, keep a defender away from it just for a few possessions. I mean, he's better than no point guard, right? That's something to consider. And if you're wondering, what is Chris talking about, the text line, grab your phone, text 88528. You can send us our text there as well. Dennis did ask in the YouTube chat, and he said, who is available tonight? Well, let's give you an update. According to the Trailblazers injury report from earlier this afternoon, it's going to be the same basically as yesterday, with Robert Williams being available. Scoot Henderson out, Drew Holiday out, Damian Lillard out, Shaedon Sharpe out, Matisse Thybulle out, Blake Wesley out. Now the question is, if those 6 guys were available, how many points do they put up if they played the healthy Blazers tonight? So it's a rough go. It's a rough go for the Blazers. They get this game to end this road trip, and then 2 at home to end the month of November against San Antonio and Oklahoma City. We've talked about this early season run, how it was going to be tough. It's definitely holding out that it is going to be tough. Absolutely going to be tough. All right, we're going to take a quick little break here on Blazers Game Day. But when we come back, we're going to do the Coach's Corner. Hear what Coach Tiago Splitter had to say following that loss to the Thunder last night. This is Blazers Game Day on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio, 620. Welcome back into Blazers Game Day. Chris Burkhardt here with you, getting you ready for Blazers versus Bucks. If you want to join the conversation, grab your phone, text 88503 to hit up the new Rip City Radio text line. You can also go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat there where Eric Weldon says, oh crap, I own a Bucks jersey. Well, it's a Dame jersey and I got it on sale. That's what I think that is, Eric Weldon, is I think you need to hold on to that. And you need to post it on social media in about 10 years. You could probably do it now and still get some engagement, but get in on like the Mandela effects, right? Like it's a Mandela effect. Oh, the Monopoly guy in the monocle, or the cornucopia in Fruit of the Loom, like the Mandela effect. Why do some people remember Dame in a Bucks jersey? Like, he never played for the Bucks. He's a Trailblazer his entire career. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yeah, keep it. Nostalgia. Bruce also asks, what do you all think about the coach we have? It'd be nice to get a proven coach again. Here's the thing, Bruce. That's a good question. I do think it's fair. There's a lot of Blazer fans who would like the proven coach to come in, the guy that maybe has some time under his belt, the Mike Malones of the world, right? I know that was one that was really latched onto from Blazer fans when he became available. Oh, look at him. And you know what? That's not bad. But I will say, I like Tiago Splitter. I liked him as an assistant to Chauncey Billups when he was hired in the offseason. I still thought that he had good chances of being a good head coach at a high level. And, he was thrust into this position. I will defend him a little bit. People talk about his rotations or this and that, and no one wants to hear, oh, well, our coach is learning on the job. People didn't like to hear that about Chauncey either, right? Here he comes in, and the guy's hired him, and he doesn't even have any experience. He's learning on the job. The difference between those two is one was hired to be the head coach without having a ton of that experience behind it, which is okay. It's absolutely okay to hire that person. However, the other person in Tiago was thrust into this. So he was hired to be, whether it was a big man's coach or offensive assistant or whatnot, like he was hired to have a specific job. And now he's thrust into being a head coach in the NBA. So for him, I feel like the learning curve is going to be there, and it's a little bit longer of a leash. Because at some point, you're like, okay, you were hired to be the head coach, figure it out. It took a while. But with Tiago, I give him the leash. I think he's a good coach, smart coach, figuring out a lot. Also, the identity he was continuing the team forward with, the defense and the pace and the intensity. It took a big hit when you lost guys like Matisse Thybulle and Blake Wesley, who were bringing it every single night. Every single night. Patrick just stirring the pot. He wants, hey, Chris, can we get your thoughts on the Aloha chicken sandwich at Jollibee's? I will say this is not a sponsored segment, though I wish it were, but the Aloha chicken sandwich, or Aloha chicken sandwich at Jollibee's, phenomenal. It is good. It is really good. I like that they call it the Aloha chicken sandwich, not a Hawaiian chicken sandwich, because as my grandpa would say, just because you put pineapple or teriyaki on something doesn't make it Hawaiian. My island grandpa, who grew up, born and raised, Hilo, Hawaii, thought that it was so annoying that if you just put a pineapple on something on the mainland, they called it Hawaiian. Rest in peace. Yeah, no, rest in peace, Grandpa. He knew what he's talking about. He didn't mess around with his food, but also he's correct. All right, Brendan, let's give this voice of mine just a little bit of a break. Let's head to the Coach's Corner. All right, let's head back in time just a little over 24 hours ago, less than 24 hours ago, and go to Oklahoma City, hear what Coach Billups, oh man, that's the first one, Brendan! That's the first one! Oh, I've lasted so long. Hey, to be fair, he was in the news cycle today, so let's go back in time and hear what Coach Tiago Splitter had to say after that loss in OKC.
Spots and free throws. And then Offensively, we couldn't get anything. Our guys couldn't make shots. We know they shrink the paint, and that's their philosophy. Eliminate those shots at the rim, but sometimes we couldn't find our shooters, and when we find it, we couldn't make them. So one of those nights that shot was not falling.
The SGA is always going to be able. He's so great at getting to the line and drawing fouls. How do you feel like you guys did in terms of defending him physically as you want to defend, while also trying not to send him to the line over and over again?
Yeah, I think we made some mistakes with jumping on pump fakes. But overall, you cannot be less aggressive, being afraid of fouling him, right? Like, it's part of the game, foul. You're going to foul. He has the ball a lot on his hands, so you got to be aggressive. I just come mad at those, jumping those pump fakes.
What did you think of Young Hansen's minutes tonight? Do you feel like he's got a lot out of the remix?
Well, it was good for him to go there and compete against a very good team and see the physicality of the game and slowly getting more comfortable with the ball. And I think we didn't see yet all his talents with passing the ball and stuff like that. He got a couple of good one-on-ones in the post. We tried to use him as a hub on the middle of the court and post him up a couple times. Still developing for sure.
The one tomorrow night versus the Bucks in Milwaukee. What do you guys need to do, particularly that maybe you didn't do tonight, to go into Milwaukee and give yourselves a better chance?
Yeah. I think we play very slow tonight. Afraid to drive it and kick it out. I think we were too careful. Something that cannot happen tomorrow. We got to be more aggressive. That's our game. That's how we play. We get too cute with the ball, and it's not us. So I think we got to get better at that.
And there you hear from head coach Tiago Splitter after the game against OKC. Like he was saying, just missed a few things, couldn't find their guys, and need to get better. They absolutely do. And we kind of understood what it was going to be like going into that game. A very rough game for the Trailblazers. The injuries are piling up. The league is dealing with the injuries piling up. And the Blazers didn't have the offensive firepower to bounce back or really strike an Oklahoma City team that was firing on all cylinders at home, which they have a great home court advantage. It's one of those stadiums that I think, quite frankly, a Blazer fan should try to go to one day. It's very unique. It reminds you a lot of Portland when Portland is firing on all cylinders and Moda Center sold out every single night. I've never been to an Oklahoma City game, playoff game or regular season that was not sold out. And I've been to a lot of Oklahoma City Thunder games back when I was traveling around with the team. It's a very cool environment and a good fan base. And what's unique about Oklahoma City, and people don't necessarily think about it, but I remember my very first time going to OKC. So this was like 2016-ish, and talking to the taxi driver as I was coming from the airport, and he was telling me about how, the city was really, really down, and the downtown center didn't have a lot of vibrance to it post Oklahoma City bombing, despite the fact that was so long ago. And it was just something that, was kind of a dark cloud over the city, and people took a long time to rebound from. And he was talking about how when the team came, it gave a lot of people a reason to go downtown again. And it totally revitalized the place and brought a lot of pride back into being from Oklahoma and Oklahoma City. And that's the kind of thing that makes you, just gather around and love that team. So it's a really cool story when you get down to it and talk to locals about how important that team is to the city and what they've done. And there's a lot of teams out there in various sports where I don't know if that connection to the team is there on that level. Like the team could leave and it's like, oh yeah, it hurts. And there's a good chunk of the core fan base. It's like, that's, oh, it's terrible. They're gone. But it's just not like the pulse of the city. And Oklahoma City is. And that's something that Portland has always came to my head when I thought about that. And again, I know there's always that sector of people who don't really care about sports, but there is something special about the connection between Rip City and Portland, and how they can be one and the same sometimes. You can tell when the Blazer team is good when you're outside. Like that's what I'm talking about. Now, like the Lakers, like yeah, the Lakers are a heartbeat of the Laker fan base, but like they're not the heartbeat of LA. Like the Hollywood is the heartbeat of Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? But some sports teams, man, really, really are the center of what their city is at its core, and Oklahoma City is one of those. So I highly suggest getting out there if you're a Blazer fan one time. Really, really cool experience. All right, we're gonna take a quick little break here. When we come back, Brendan, in the spirit, since I had mentioned him earlier, in the spirit of friend of the show, our good pal, Justin Myers, I think I'm going to bring back a Rip City morning segment for Blazers Game Day. You don't have to have the sounder ready, of course, but I do think we're going to bring back kind of like a get off my lawn, like a Godfather gripe type thing, something that irritates me, okay? And we're going to talk about it. And it is sports and basketball related, I assure you. I'll tell you what it is when we return here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio, 620. Welcome back into Blazers Game Day. Chris Burkhardt here with you, getting you ready for Blazers versus Bucks. We're having some fun conversations too in the YouTube chat. If you want to get in on it, go head on over there. Type in Rip City Radio, join the chat, or you can grab your phone and text 88528 to hit up the Rip City Radio text line. I'll see your messages there as well if I can read them in between my bum friends trying to send me college football texts. Like, text my real phone. Why are you texting the text line, you bums? Also, shout out to Timmy in the chat. Happy I Hate Washington week. That's right, for all you football fans out there. Go Ducks. Go Ducks. Kenny Wheaton is going to score, and he did. What a great call. Also, shout out to Bruce, who says, I'm from Portland, but I'm living in the Philippines. There we go. So are we watching live right now in the Philippines? I need to make it out there. My grandpa, who I had mentioned earlier, born in Hilo, Hawaii, his family was Filipino. He was 100% Filipino. So I got the blood. I got the blood. Get down there. Now, I said that we were going to come back. We're going to basically, get off my lawn, or, Peter Griffin. Like, what really grinds my gears? This is what grinds my gears. So, Chris Finch, Minnesota Timberwolves, he did a post-game availability the other night, road game, and it lasted all of about 90 seconds. There was like 2 questions asked. We just played Thiago Splitter, that post-game. That thing lasted all of about 2 minutes with just a handful of questions asked and some familiar voices, right? You heard Perk Olzendam. You could hear Casey Holdall asking questions. There is an epidemic. And Brendan, I want you to chime in on this from your college football perspective too. But there is an epidemic right now, especially in sports like the NBA, where they have so many games, that outlets just are not sending their beat reporters on the road anymore. Hey, COVID changed it a little bit because people learned, you can cover it remotely. Now, our Sean Hyken at Rose Garden Report has gone to as many of these road games as he can, but he's the only one on the road consistently for this Blazer team right now. Now, when I went travel with the team when I was with NBC, we had 2 or 3 people on the road because I was always there because I was the producer. So I was always filming, getting all the interviews back to TV. If you guys were remembered and were watching shows like Talkin' Ball and Rip City Live, I was getting the footage back when we were on the road. And I always had Dwight or Jason or Jamie with me, our insiders. So you had both of us in the locker room asking questions. We were at shoot around all the time. Also, I always saw like Joe Friedman from the Oregonian, who's back on the beat now, by the way. But even outside of that, like, there wasn't just a big contingent of reporters on the road. And so this is hitting a lot of different media outlets, not just the Blazers and not just Minnesota, but like when a team comes to town now, there's not a lot of visiting reporters like there used to be. I want to know, what's it like in football? Football's a little different just because it's, 6, 7, 8 games you got to travel, not, 41. I said 6, 7, 8. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. But that is the get off my lawn. What really grinds my gears, old man gripe, is like, we're not investing in sports media, man. Send your reporters on the road. It is an absolutely massively valuable tool. Now, I can understand, Brendan, for an outlet like you run the Beavers Edge, and maybe there's not that influx of money that can really afford to send people on the road, which that I totally understand. But when the USA Todays of the world and the NBC Sports of the world and these big corporations like, nope, saving pennies, baby. I hate it.
For running, affiliate of On3, it's very independent, and we have to, have it in the budget for those kind of things. That being said, Chris, the last 2 times, or not two out of the last 3 times Oregon State went to a bowl game, we were there. So it's kind of time and place. But look at me right now, Chris, and tell me how much value is there in me making the trek to Pullman this weekend, for example, right? When Oregon State has their finale. We know they're kind of in the point of the season where the coaching search and being here locally is more important this week. So I think it's kind of that too. As far as the professional level, yeah, I think you should travel more. I think it's awesome that, Hyken's out there doing that. And to your point, we sent someone to, Eugene this year for that lovely Civil War, man.
Yeah, real big travel budget to get to Eugene.
We used to go to Washington, Seattle a couple times. We've been around a little bit. It just kind of depends. I think when there's more interest in a team and a team is good, you can justify it more than maybe if a team is struggling.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there's different dynamics, obviously, with college football versus the NBA. There's different dynamics with the NFL to the NBA because of the travel budget is going to be so much smaller, right? Now I know times change, but I remember talking to my old boss when we were deciding travel and all that for the NBA, and he's like, on average, it's about like $35,000 a year to send someone on the road for the entire NBA season, when you're factoring in hotels, road, airfare, all that stuff. And it's like, okay, well, that's a drop in the bucket for a lot of these corporations, man. And as Air Weldon chimes in on the YouTube chat, he's like, these outlets are trying to cut costs. Quotes, journalism is dying. Then news outlets not sending their beat reporters. And it's like, yeah, that's how you get good journalism, is having those guys on the road. And I'll tell you that my biggest like learning experience on the road was because I was on the road. Like, that's what it was. Like, when I got to sit down and talk to Damian Lillard, and I got to talk to CJ McCollum and build those relationships, most of that relationship building is on the road. It sounds weird, but you will see the Blazers players and the coaches and the staff on the road more than you will ever see them at home. When you see them at home, you get the, practice availability. They open the doors for 10 minutes. You talk, you're done. Shoot-arounds on the road are completely different. They're low-key. You get to go in. You sometimes just get to sit down and have conversations. Like I had a couple conversations with Dame that weren't even actual interviews. It was just me sitting and talking to him about wrestling and stuff like that. And that's how you build those relationships, right? And that's why, again, when you're not sending these guys on the road, you're missing out on that relationship building, which without that relationship building, you're not getting the big deep dive stories that you all like to consume. And it's all a penny pinching measure. And it just irritates me. It is crucial to just the fabric of how beat reporting works. And I wish more people would and companies would invest in sending those people on the road. And to the ones that do, it's awesome. Like I said, Heikens out there all the time. And you don't got to be on the road for all 41 games, but getting on the road when you can is absolutely crucial to building those relationships, man.
Maybe I need to start traveling the new Pac-12 stadiums next year, because there will be a bunch of new stadiums that your boy's never been to.
Well, that one makes sense. See, now it's worth the investment. Now you're getting out to some new places and seeing some new faces. Also, it's big for young guys in the business too. It's like I was talking to Brendan earlier about, hey, he's learning how to produce remotely from the laptop rather than having to be in here all the time. And he produced a game from home the other day. And it's like, hey, start producing them from Moda. It cost me a little more in gas, yeah, but you're also gonna maybe get a chance to go into the locker room, get a chance to do some things, meet some people, have some fun. Like there's opportunity there. I'm just big on like, man, send your people on the road. It's crucial, absolutely crucial. You got to build those relationships outside of just, I'm a reporter and I'm just talking to you all the time. Because again, where I met all those guys and had some of the most down-to-earth conversations and got to know some of those players on a personal level. And I'm not even boasting, because I didn't meet a lot of guys on that level, because I was just the little producer on the road. But again, it was on the road that did that. Not to mention, when you have a tough game on the road, you got to have your beat reporters to hold them accountable, to ask the tough questions and get the tough answers. Not necessarily the dumb questions that someone asked Lincoln Riley after the Duck game. Like, can you imagine, Brendan? Would you ever ask a coach, what do you think about the game day sign that people think that you're an easy win, or they want? What a time to be alive.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, it's funny.
Yeah, it is. But anyway, that's my gripe. That's my gripe. Patrick send Chris on the road. Hey, you send me on the road. Hey, I will use the Xbox. I'll bring it with me. It's with me today. I'm gonna play my football game, a little bit later. I got some time before tip-off. But you sent me on the road. You bet your tail end that the fifth quarter. All right, we're live up here at section 320 inside Paycom Arena in OKC. Oh my gosh, it would be awesome. It would be awesome. All right, we're gonna take a quick break here on the Blazers game day. When we come back, I'm going to hit you with our keys to the game. What do the Blazers need to do to get a win over the Milwaukee Bucks? We'll let you know after the break here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. All right, keys to the game in this one. Obviously, the Blazers are going to be, once again, without a lot of firepower. No Drew Holiday, no Shaden Sharp. And that hurts. That has hurt them over the last few games. But you can still find ways to win, as you saw in that Golden State game. Now they're taking on a Milwaukee team that has been without, yes, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Thanasis Antetokounmpo did play 2 minutes in their loss to the Pistons. He ended with 2 personal fouls and 2 points. But he is not his brother, that is for sure. And you look at the lineup that the Bucks rolled out against the Pistons: Bobby Portis, Kyle Kuzma, Miles Turner, AJ Green, and Ryan Rollins off the bench. Jericho Sims, Gary Harris, Gary Trent Jr., Andre Jackson Jr. So it's not necessarily a who's who of names, and so they have some holes in that lineup. That's just how I think it proves to you just how good Giannis is, because you put him in that lineup, it just feels like it changes everything because he's so darn talented. But that was also something we talked about, when they ended up waiving Damian Lillard and the moves they needed to make. That roster had some holes, and so they still got some building to do. They're 8-9 on the season. They're trying to find their footing, just like Portland is. They're a little middle of the road, and if you're the Blazers, there are some things that you can take advantage of and totally set yourself up for success in the long run. And one of those places is going to be on the glass. I think that's going to be a massive key to this game, because it's going to allow the Blazers to run the game they want, which is grab the defensive glass, push the tempo. Grab the defensive glass, push the tempo. Right now, going into this game, the Milwaukee Bucks averaged 39.6 rebounds, which is 3rd worst in the NBA. The Blazers coming in averaging 45.4. And so, yes, that's just 6 more rebounds, but that can make a big difference down the stretch for your Portland Trailblazers, allowing them, again, to play the game that they want offensively. The Blazers 2nd in the NBA in offensive rebounds, which you can totally take advantage of because you're playing a Bucks team that just does not rebound the basketball very well at all. So find ways to get on the glass. You can push the tempo the way you want, which is a good thing, and then you can obviously get those offensive rebounds as well. Now, the Blazers aren't a great defensive rebounding team. They're actually 3rd worst in the NBA. They make up for it on the offensive glass. The Bucks are a little better than the Blazers. Most of their rebounds are coming in on the defensive side of it. The 31 of their 39 rebounds are defensive rebounds. So you have that versus the Blazers' offensive rebounding game. So guys like Robert Williams, who will play tonight, Donovan Clingan, Tumani Kamara, who we know can get rebounds, Denny Avdia, those guys are going to have to be very, very strong on the glass. I think that's the key. Anything else, shoot the ball well. Yeah, they need to do that. Don't turn the ball over. Yeah, they need to do that. But I think this really does set up quite well for being aggressive on the glass, leading to second chance points and leading to those fast break points where this offense can thrive. I mean, if DC gets a rebound, kicks it out to Denny, and Denny gets rolling downhill, he's going to get to the rim. Then you just got to convert. Then you got to make those shots. But that's part of leading up to that success. That's what I want to see from the Trailblazers tonight. Once again, tip-off coming up in a little over an hour. And I go, of course, our boy Travis Demers down there in Milwaukee, which is another cool place to go to. If you ever go down there, they have Mecca, the original building they used to play in, which is now a college stadium. Then they have a parking lot, which is where the old Bradley Center was that they destroyed, and then they have Pfizer Forum. Like, they're all built in a row in the exact same spot, which is just kind of cool to see the history there. And it's a fun little city right there on the water. Cool stadium and fun town. Definitely get down there. The cheese is incredible. They got vending machines in the airport. You can buy some good Wisconsin smoked cheese, which is great. But this is going to be one of those games. I think the Blazers definitely can win because Milwaukee is struggling just like the Blazers are. It's just going to be take your strengths, and the strength for the Blazers on just about any night is going to be their ability to clean the offensive glass and put some pressure on teams that way. It's not going to be through shooting the ball well, because that's so up and down. It's not going to be through absolute stellar defense, because that has been up and down right now. But cleaning the glass, they can control that. Be aggressive. Donovan Clingan needs to have another one of those performances like he did against Chicago, where he absolutely could not be stopped. Could not be stopped on the glass against Chicago. So he needs to repeat that. Bruce says, the best cheese. It's really good cheese. I'm still partial to Tillamook myself. All right, it is time to get out of here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Good morning in the Philippines. Have a good rest of your day, Bruce. That's awesome that you're watching from over there. But the music means it's time to go. Coming up next, across the Trailblazers Audio Network, Chad Doing will have your Trailblazers pregame show. And then after that, 5 o'clock, tip-off, Blazers, Bucks, our friend Travis Demers on the call. And, of course, after the game, keep it locked in to Rip City Radio for the 5th quarter, where hopefully we're breaking down a Trailblazers victory. Rip City, thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you after the game.